Hello again, beautiful people. Welcome back. My name is Crystal, and today we are working on ICAD number 9 and 10. Or is it 8? Wait, it's 8 and 9. Oops, 8 and 9. So I was going to continue doing like the daily posts, but it became a little tedious, so I think I'm going to lump a couple of the cards together in one video just to make it a little bit easier, and I'll put like timestamps and stuff so you can skip to the different cards if there's a certain one that you want to see. But yes, so today I'm working on card 8 and 9, and I felt for day 8 I wanted to try something different. I wanted to make a male art doll. I typically only make female figures, and since I did have a couple of printables for male art dolls, I figured I might as well use it. They seem to be more on the neutral color palette, the ones that I do own, so because of that reason I went with a neutral vintage kind of color scheme for today's card. Now vintage is not something I typically do either. I prefer bright colors, so this was a little difficult for me to kind of put together. It was interesting though to see it all, come alive on the card, but yeah, it took a little bit of work. So the printables I'm using for the male art doll is from that Etsy shop. I'll link it down below. And same thing with the female figure that's on top of the mushroom. The hand sticker and the red mushroom sticker are from the Antiquarian sticker book, as is that other mushroom. It's a sticker book that I've been trying to use up a little bit more. When I first got it, I wasn't a huge fan, so I've been trying to push myself to use more of it to see if I like it more. And it isn't awful, or it's not as awful as I originally thought. It's just kind of tedious, I think, to like have to cut all the excess borders off and stuff anytime I want to use something. But I'm going with it. And so the card itself is just a green card that I cut down to index card size, and then I attempted to coffee dye using instant coffee. I might have mentioned it, I'm not 100% sure, but I did attempt to coffee dye some paper, and it's too much work. I will not be doing it again, but I did coffee dye a whole bunch before, like just to have as backgrounds for this challenge. And I think it helps to have like pre-made background cards to help put together your card and stuff, because it's just like it can be very time consuming to make these, and I don't ever want to, not that I don't ever want to, but I don't want to have a reason to not work on a card. So it's just like for my lazy days, for when I'm committed to doing this 61 days. So I wanted to make sure that I set myself up for success instead of failure. Now, once I was satisfied with the elements on my card, I did want to distress a little bit using my distress oxides, and that was in the shade Vintage Photo. And so I think I'm really enjoying distressing the edges. I think it just kind of gives another added element to my cards. So I distressed it with a brown oxide, like I said, to kind of tie in all the color palettes. And then that label there is from a Tim Holtz ephemera pack. And then I'm just stamping with some StazOn ink, Daydreamer, because I kind of felt like that girl in the mushroom is just like lost in her own little world. So yeah. Anywho, that was today's vintage card. I really do miss color. The last 2 days, I think it was day 8 and day 7, I did color palettes that weren't typically ones that I go for. So I think I'm going to hop back to my regular color, which you'll see, and for day 9, I kind of just go ham. But anywho, yeah, so that's a close-up of the card. I did go over, I added some shadowing underneath the girl in the mushroom with a Stabilo black pencil, and then I just did a couple of outlines in a white gel pen. That's pretty much it. now on to day 9. For day 9, like I mentioned, I went ham with the color for this one. I was just itching to put something bright and happy on the page. So I recently signed up for the Collage Fodder challenge by, I think it's Willow Wonders on Instagram. And so I think that's who put together, I'm not 100% sure, but essentially it's like a 7 or 9 day class that got put together where it's a lot of different like mixed media artists do a daily tutorial for I think a week. And so the one that's just been like all over Instagram the past few days has been one by Megan Wisner Quinlan. I think that's how you pronounce her name. So she did like her own version of a paper doll where she essentially, you have your head or your face and then you just create a collage using paper bits. Some people even use fabric. You could use whatever you want. So I decided to use up a lot of collage pieces that I had in my bin that I haven't touched in forever. I used old jelly prints that I had made. When I first got a jelly plate a couple years ago, I had no idea about how to put what colors worked well together. So I have a bunch of jelly prints that are just taking up space that I, for some reason, don't want to throw out, but also don't want to use because I don't really like them. So yeah, it's the paper hoarder in me. So I decided to use some of that. So I have a mix of jelly plate prints, like I said, some Printables from Little Raven ink, and then the necklace that I made for her were actually stickers that I made myself using a hand-carved stamp on some labels that I colored using some distress stains. Now, the face that I use is actually from a stamp from Jane Davenport. I saw that a lot of the examples tend to have like black and white faces. And while I wanted to just leave it black and white, like I said, I miss color. So before the video started, I stamped these on a bunch of faces on cardstock and then colored hair using some mermaid markers. Now the stamp that I just used was actually one that I put together following a tutorial by the COFFEEnated Creative over on YouTube. She did an awesome tutorial where she talked about how she made her own stamps using foam alphabet stickers and some wood blocks, and I was obsessed. So I've seen her use them before in her journal, and I had been meaning to ask her where she got them, and then when she mentioned she made them herself, I was just dying for a tutorial. So as soon as she posted it, I ordered a couple of, I think it was like a 3/4 inch wooden blocks, and then I found some alphabet stickers at a local craft store, and I just like put it all together, and I love it because now I have a little mini tub full of stamps that I made myself. Now the Daisy Yellow Index Card a Day challenge, she does put out prompts that you can choose to follow. I haven't been following them, but for this day I decided to. So the prompt for today was ampersand, and I had this enormous hole punch that I don't know why I bought it. Like, I don't even like that symbol or the ampersand. Like, I've never used it. So I pulled it out because I figured this is a wonderful opportunity to use a supply that you haven't used in a while. And I made an ampersand. So yeah, as far as the like words go, I went to a local like thrift bookstore on base, and I found a couple of books to use to like cut up and use for this challenge, and one of them was a book on friendship. I don't know why you would want a book on friendship, but I really liked the images. They were like watercolored, so I was going to use those like orange words there originally, but I couldn't find a combination that worked, and I originally was going to go with doubles and divides, but it made no sense. So I just kind of gave up and pulled out some wood stamps and stamped on some neon paper. The saying also doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think I cut it out of the video, but I was just staring at the stamps trying to figure out what 2 words I wanted to put, and Think and Wonder just popped out, so I figured I'm gonna go with that because I didn't want to waste any more time stressing, because I don't want this to be stressful. I want this to be like a very fun experience for me. So I just kind of went with it because I said, well, whatever. That's what you thought, so use it. So now that I have all of that said and done, I did stamp out that neon yellow circle because I felt that the ampersand just got lost because that paper doll has got a lot going on, and with the colors that I chose, I didn't think the black cardstock would have really made as big of an impact if I'd left it by itself. So I cut out that neon yellow circle to kind of give it some contrast, so to make it pop just a little bit more. Now my doll is pretty much done, but I did want to add a little bit more to it to tie in the little pieces that are in the center together. So I went back and I used a white gel pen to trace some of the marks that I made. I used that pink Posca paint pen, the same one that I used for the cheek pops, so that way it would kind of tie in along with the neon pink that I used to stamp Think and Wonder.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations. Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. Myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
And with that, I will leave you all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching me create these last 2 days worth of ICADs. I hope you're having a good time and getting some tips and ideas. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you guys. Bye!